What is up, my fellow mobile gamers? In today's video, we are taking a look at the Archer, and we are going over some of the best skills. I was fortunate enough to speak to some of the top tier Archer players globally, and as a group we discussed what builds we could go with. I wanted to kind of bring you a somewhat unique build, something that not everyone's using, but also something that is going to still be strong and powerful and kind of compete with what other people are playing. Before we get started, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button to help support the channel for more A3 Still Alive videos. We're going to cover some other mobile games very soon that just released. There's a few other games I'm playing, so we got lots of mobile games to go over. But yeah, let's jump into this little build right here. So this is going to be our PvE build. First up we have is place auto crossbows. This is a great skill. This is one of my favorites for the Archer. We place the auto crossbow. It lasts 20 seconds. It just does damage. It's just awesome. I love this one. This is great for just taking out the mobs and just killing as many monsters as we can, because later in the game you get to the point where some of them quests are like farm 300-400 monsters. So this helps out a ton. Next up we have is Hawkeye. This is another great one. It's just a quick little buff for us. Increases our physical attack by a number for an amount of time and increase our physical accuracy, so just letting us put out more damage. Overall, just another great skill. Next up we have is Wind Sweep. 2-hit damage, decrease attack by an amount for an amount of seconds, and interrupt on hit. Again, let me just go over and show this one off real quick. This one is great, as you can see, for taking out those mobs when they're all lined up. This is a great skill. Again, notice a lot of this is going to be a lot of AoE attacks that we just want to take out as many monsters as we can, so that way we can just get through the quests and the farming as fast as possible. Our next up is Spread Shot. This one, again, you'll see just does tons of AoE damage on hit, does an amount of damage, decrease accuracy by an amount for an amount of seconds on hit, unstoppable during cast. Again, this is just so good. Look at it, just tons of AoE damage. We all agree this one was super needed for PvE. Some of the red skills, we just went through the yellows and blues. Those are pretty much the only yellows and blues that we're keeping. The other ones we're going to get rid of. Our next up is Fire Arrow. Again, you're going to need to be character level 50. Ignite is going to have to be at level 10. Again, this one is just good AoE overall damage. Just tons of damage, 2 times hit, interrupt on hit. Next up we have is Poison Arrow. Another amazing skill for the Archer. On hit, we do an amount of damage. We do poison damage for an amount of time, which is huge. This helps out so much, especially against like bosses and stuff. An amount of explosion damage after 4 seconds and spreads the poison. Again, this is so great for PvE. I feel like the Archer is by far one of the best PvE characters in the game, because we just have so much utility for just doing tons of AoE damage and just hitting mobs and bringing them together. Archer is very good at PvE. And then next up we have is Foot Shot. First hit damage, second hit damage, and decrease physical crit evade by an amount for an amount of time. Super low cooldown. Cooldown's only 15 seconds. The Archer has a lot of fast cooldowns. Like a lot of the skills that we're taking are like 10 to 15 second cooldowns. And then finally we have Raining Arrows. Again, you'll need to be character level 80. Unfortunately for this Spread Shot, we'll have to be level 10. But this is such a good skill. Fires a rain of arrows at enemies in front. Cooldown, again, super low, 15 seconds. 3-hit skill. Each hit damage by an amount. Decrease physical evade by an amount for 20 seconds. Unstoppable during cast. Again, unstoppable is so important. All right, now we are going to go into our PvP build, which is a little bit different. Not very much, but slightly. Again, we're going to take our first 2 blue skills. We're going to take the Place Auto Crossbow. We're going to take Hawkeye. Next, we are going to take Multi-Shot, a bunch of damage, decrease target crit success rate by an amount for an amount of time. This helps out so much in PvP battles for guild conquest. Resource battle helps out a ton. Bladed Traps. movement medium on hit, place a trap that activates when enemies approach it, trap damage, stun for 4 seconds, invisible during cast. This helps out again so much for PvPs. This is a great skill for resource battle when you are trying to protect your resources from being stolen. What we came up with, the idea that a lot of these top players were telling me, is you place these traps near your resources so that when as defense, so that when other people try and come and steal your resources, it basically stuns them and it just puts them in a stun lock, because then everybody else just starts stunning them and it's just mayhem. Again, for the next one, we're going to be taking raining arrows, same as our PvE, decrease physical evade by an amount for an amount of time, unstoppable during cast. Our next one is blooming flame, medium movement. On hit, we do an amount of damage, interrupt on hit, unstoppable during cast. We leap back, fire multiple exploding arrows. I just want to show you a preview of this one because this one is very, very good. There we go. It gives you that distance. So this one is important for PvP because it gives us that distance. So when we have our berserkers who charge us, when we have the Templars who charge us, this is a great skill to just help us bam, 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 get a little bit of distance. Just gives that little bit of distance away. The next one we're going to take is spreading thorns. This one can be used for PvE too, but this is also super good for PvP because again, it's just like our blooming flame. Obviously this is like the upgraded version, but we're also taking spreading thorns because again, as you can see, it gives us that jump back. We do damage, we bind the enemy for an amount of time, and we're unstoppable during cast. This helps out again so much for PvP. And then our last skill that we take is penetrating shot. 3-hit skill. We do a bunch of damage. We interrupt on hit. As you can see, it shows them lined up. All right, so that was pretty much it for the build. Something a little interesting, a little bit different. Beast Trap. This is also a pretty good skill. You can put this in. I personally like this Beast Trap. The people that I spoke to, they're a bit iffy on it. They said that you could use it, but we wanted to again come up with something unique, so we didn't use this. But Beast Trap, I really like this as an ability, so maybe, you could try and sneak this in and take one of the other skills out. One thing in particular I wanted to go over real quick was our magic stones. So what magic stones should you equip? As an archer, you're going to mainly focus on the red ones, which is like the physical attack. You're going to do attack first, then you're going to focus on the defense. Magic defense being our priority. We are a physical attacker as an archer, so we have a lot of abilities naturally that increase our physical defense, but we suffer from magic attacks. So magic attacks hit the archer kind of hard. So we definitely want to put some magic defense stones like these blue ones in our equipment just to give us that magic defense. We're going to need it so bad. Personally, I like the attack shoes better, like something that gives us like physical attack, physical penetration. Right now, this is like the best one I have is the rare one. So I'm just kind of rocking the magical evade, physical evade. But I would highly recommend if you can get one of the stronger ones that gives you like the physical attack, physical penetration. Those two are super amazing. Like they help out a ton for the archer to just do so much more damage. Now, when it comes to costumes, I would go for the magical evade one right here, the battlefield gladiator armor, just because it's a huge amount, 270, or the magic defense, 210. Either one I would go with. Now let's take a look at the soul linkers. Talking with these top tier players, a lot of them suggested to maximize your support soul linkers. So they highly suggested support soul linkers over the attack and defense, but they also said defense and attack are, you're going to need them through the quests. But the main priority was the support soul linkers, especially for like PvP battles, guild conquest, all that stuff. You're going to need these. The ones that they recommended were Titus. This one was huge. This one, a lot of them talked and said, this one is a great one for the archer. The best rare that we came up with was Atelier. Everyone recommended Atelier as the best rare support for the archer. Again, just amazing character. Some of these common abilities, it depends. Some of them are good for the PvP battles and some of them are good for PvE. What kind of playstyle you want to go through? Something like this would be beneficial for like the guild conquest resource battle because it increases your nearby allies attack. But again, if you're farming with a whole bunch of people, this will also help. This helps out so much. Dispel the debuffs. Decrease allies damage taken by an amount. This is another great one. This one helps out for both PvP and PvE. This is probably a safe bet for either one. But again, like there's so many good common ones. Like all these, they're all situational, but they're all really good. They said Aropia just because of her tankiness, because she's just super tanky. Again, I know some people don't really like her, but they recommended this as a possibility for PvP or for PvE, more for PvP style. One thing before we go, I just wanted to touch over the enhanced passives. Some of these, of course, they unlock with the character level, but some of the ones that we wanted to prioritize, that they wanted to put more emphasis on, is physical crit damage increase. This is one that's very important. We want to level this one up as much as can. Physical attack increase and physical defense. So these ones right here were super important. But I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I will see you very soon for some more A3 Still Alive content and some other mobile games coming soon. Merry Christmas. I hope Santa brings you everything on your wish list. Peace.